So how do I manage it all with my soon-to-be 4-year-old, soon-to-be 2-year-old, and one on the way? So it's been a real. It's been quite the journey. I would say, certainly if you were to ask me, 5 years ago, if I were to have any children, the answer would be no. And then when I had my first child, it was one and done. And then when I had my second child, I said, we a pair, we good. And then, this one is here. So I now no longer say anything because I don't want to be held to it. That all being said is, it's all about, I would say, having a good partner. My man, who wasn't always my man, at one point we were very much co-parenting, but I think we were very organized in how we co-parented. We were very I still want to be a mother, but most importantly, I still want to be a woman, and I still want to have a sense of self. So, I do very much travel. I do at least 3 or 4 trips internationally on a yearly basis since I've had my children. I do very much still hang out with my girlfriends. I do very much sometimes hang out with myself. Sometimes I just go for a walk and just decompress. And I think that's really important. A lot of my friends that have children, I find they lose themselves there because we feel like as women, once you have a child, we have to be all about our child. We got to do this, we got to do that. And we need to just forget ourselves. And you really cannot do that. I would say that, the organization piece is key. So I meal prep. I'm all about it. I wasn't before. I was very lazy, but it has literally saved my life on a Sunday. All the meals kind of planned out. So if I have to leave or travel, because my job is pretty high travel, I don't have to worry about, the food being cooked. And I don't do the meal prepping by myself. I do half the meals, and I would say probably the easier meals. And then I make my husband do the rest of the meals on his own. So there's that piece. The other piece is, we're very scheduled. So I'm not picking the kids up every day and dropping them off, and neither is he. If there's something that he wants to do or needs to do because work is dictating it, or personal stuff, he has things he likes to do just as I do, then it's you're picking them up on this day, I'm dropping them off on this day. And so because we have that schedule and we kind of know what it's supposed to look like, and we plan these on a monthly basis, literally it just kind of makes it very easy for us. So at this point, we're coming home, we have a 2-hour window of feeding our children, bathing them, reading a book, and putting them to bed, because they literally go to bed at 8:30, and we scheduled them to do that. And then it's our time. So is it, date night looks like Netflix and chill, very, very much. We're watching House of Cards, and we're eating popcorn, and we're enjoying each other. Or we're watching House of Cards while doing work at the same time, and then we're enjoying each other. Or I'm going for a walk, and I'll be back later. But either way, I would say is, it's not easy. It's something that you have to kind of find your own rhythm. But what I will say is necessary, because you don't want to forget yourself at any point in time, and that's the easiest thing to do. And you also don't want to forget enjoying being a mom. People say the first years were hard. I didn't feel that way, but that's my personal experience. I just got blessed with a good child. I think if I had a different type of child, I may not have had a second child. But that all being said, is I was lucky. So I would say, in those cases, you just have to, again, just be true to yourself. Take time for yourself, be good to yourself, be forgiving. Don't think you need to do it all. Don't think, and also don't judge yourself based upon other people. If you see that sister who's doing X, Y, Z in the third, she might not be. She might have it together outside, but in the house, she's probably falling apart. There's so many different people who have had what I would say very traditional relationships. When I met my partner, him and I were just friends, and we had a baby, and we decided to co-parent. We literally lived in the same building on different floors, co-parenting our child. And people felt like, why aren't you going to get married? Why aren't you going to do this? I've had a number of friends who got married, got divorced, have had all the kids, and they're miserable. Not saying anything is wrong with that, but we didn't do that for quite some time. And now that we are, it's just good. I know we're not getting divorced because I've already married and divorced you about 5 times in my head before we actually did it. So I say that to say, don't compare yourself to others, and just be true to your own timeline, and just be true to yourself.